turning to the war in Ukraine after a show of unity with NATO leaders in Brussels. This morning, President Biden travels to Poland, where he's expected to meet with U.S. troops and visit with refugees who have escaped the fighting.
As hundreds of thousands just continue to rush to safety. Jay Gray has been following the situation for a month now in Poland, and he's joining us live in the capital city of Warsaw with the very latest. Jay, good morning.
Yeah, Dave, Maureen, you can see just behind me here the old castle, the royal castle, I should say, in Warsaw's Old Town. And it's where, once the president makes his way to Warsaw, he'll sit down, likely tomorrow, with Andrzej Duda, the president of Poland. Among the things they'll discuss, that refugee crisis you talk about, thousands still pouring in to escape the war in Ukraine. President Biden travels to a country that continues to give, at times past its means. Of the more than 3.5 million refugees who've escaped the fighting in Ukraine, more than 2 million are in Poland. The burden here is enormous. Shelters and cities overwhelmed with funds to support those in need quickly running out.
Well, this is not something that Poland or Romania or Germany should carry on their own.
The president announcing $1 billion in humanitarian assistance and promising to provide an easier path for 100,000 refugees to relocate to the U.S. There are already 300,000 refugees in Warsaw alone. City services stretched to their limits, but the mayor remaining committed to those who've struggled to get here.
But we are going to do everything we can to help refugees. Whoever comes to Warsaw from Ukraine will be helped.
It's a daunting proposition. As families huddle in places like this underground rail station, others in what's left of a bombed-out apartment. More than 6 million Ukrainians don't have a place to go in their own country. And as they search for safety, most will likely follow the already well-worn path into Poland. Yeah, and look, there are a lot of people who believe that the second wave of refugees will outnumber the first, which was more than 3 million, all headed this way. It's going to be a difficult task. Maureen?
And Jay, those towns that you've spent so much time in along the border, we know that sometimes their populations are smaller than this surge that we're seeing. Do they have the ability to handle that kind of surge and that kind of crowd?
Yes. Boy, it's a great question, Maureen, and I'm, to be real honest, not sure that they do. They've already been stretched to their limits dealing with what they have to deal with now. There continue to be issues with people moving across, and so they're trying to adapt and trying to do what they can, but at just the base level, space is going to be an issue, so they've got a lot to overcome in the next several weeks.
Right, and we know the humanitarian aid is needed. Jay, thank you so much for that report.